Hey, welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. I'm your host, Coach Zach. I'm here with Coach Adam, and Coach Terra's back, and we are going to be talking about if you should work out today, how the body's feeling. Sometimes you're feeling a little sore, a little beat up, maybe like you just need a day off. Should you work out? Should you not work out? We're going to talk about the signs and how to know what it is that you should do. But before we get into today's episode, we always like to give a shout out to a client of the week. And this week, we're going to give a shout out to Mr. Stan Brew. Mr. Stan Brew, newer guy, newer member. What a great attitude.
Great attitude.
What a great attitude.
Very great.
Just so I remember in his consultation, just be like, what's important? He's like, I just want to move. I just want to move. I want to feel good. Like, if you can do that for me, I'll be happy. It wasn't about like weight loss. It wasn't about muscle gain. It wasn't about lifting any, certain amount of weight. It was like, I just want to feel good and move. And I love that. Right. Like it's always nice to see the scale move. It's always nice to see the muscle tonality and all that. But at the end of the day, like, just feeling good is the most important thing. So
yeah, you just wanted to function smoother, just day to day, daily activities, feeling better. Yeah.
And I haven't trained him. You guys have trained him, but what you say is he's just doing phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely moving a lot better day to day. It's even incorporated a third day because he's feeling that great now.
Yeah.
So,
love that.
But now able to do back-to-back days, so he's way more comfortable moving.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
It's very, he lets us know too, like he's very appreciative of it. And, even some of the exercises are like they're very simple. To some people, they're not. So he came in kind of that way. And, with very simple things like even body weight squats or using a bench as his target just to get kind of like a new depth on his squat that he just, for some reason has not had to squat that deep in his life in however many years. Like he's like, that just feels so great in the legs, man. And it's just like, he's just like opening up like a fresh book and you can like hear the cracks in the spine,
exciting.
Yeah, I read.
Good analogy.
I read.
Good analogy. All right. Well, keep up the great work, Stan. All right, guys, let's talk about this. Kind of this question that sometimes people have, like, should I work out today? I'm feeling, maybe I didn't sleep well. Maybe I'm just feeling sore. I'm feeling a little beat up. Like, I just need a day off. Like, I don't know what I should do. What should they do? What do you think?
Well, you got to listen to your body. I think there's a fine line between,
wrong. Never listen to your body. Always show up and work out.
Just show up.
Just show up and work out. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's a fine line between between hurt and soreness, because sometimes especially like right now, some people will associate sometimes soreness with pain.
Some people have never been sore,
right? And it's
in
a
their life.
confusing
Yeah.
feeling. And I think right now it's happening relatively frequently with our strength phase, because we're really pushing people to push their limits strength wise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So even like with deadlifting, we kind of ended with that at the end of this last week, and people are talking early this week about my back and all this kind of stuff, low back. Well, I'm like, has your low back been sore before? Like, have you targeted that? And it's kind of like a pause and a wait. Like, no, probably not. And it's like just understanding that like there's gonna be a response, like your muscles are gonna respond a certain way, and it's kind of like a use it or lose it situation where like you want to stay moving. The more you are inactive essentially after you've maybe trained super hard, it's gonna feel worse in a lot of cases. Like if you've gotten into like a consistent flow of moving and being active every day, like you want to maintain that. So I think it's a step backwards if you try to overanalyze.
Well, one thing that we just talked about, I think in the last episode, was how when you move, it helps your body recover, right? Like it helps flush your system and get rid of, increased blood flow, which means increased nutrient to the muscle tissue, but also, getting rid of that kind of lactic acid chemical byproduct that happens from muscle tissue damage. And so a lot of times it's not even necessarily, should I work out or should I not work out? It's like, yeah, we want to move, right? So even if you're feeling like, hey, I'm fatigued or I'm sore, that doesn't mean don't work out. It just means let's adjust the plan.
Yeah.
Right.
I think a lot of times too, we're able to, like, we encourage people to still come in because, using our app and our programming, we're able to adjust things on the fly. So a lot of times when people let us know, soreness or aches and things like that, like, we're not going to just show them the door, be like, oh, like, your shoulders are sore, like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Too bad. We're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
We can make those adjustments, and, like, that's, like, why we're here. We're here to listen to that, but also, use our knowledge to be able to work around it / work through it. And there's always something you can do if that's plugging in mobility, stability type work. Like, you're still addressing a muscle group that we are, on track to address that day in the workout. It might just be a little bit different for you that day. And that's not to say, 2 days later when we have shoulders again, that you're like, you should be fine. Like, you'll be fine, because you did that extra kind of recovery modality work, and, you'll be back in a couple of days, as opposed to, taking a day off and then, who knows, falling off for a couple of days. So, yeah.
There's this principle called greasing the groove, right? Which is basically about, like, frequent repetition. So in terms of, like, strength gains, it's like there's kind of two different schools of thought, I guess, which one would be like, hey, I'm going to go all out on this lift. Let's say we're, deadlifting. I'll go all out on deadlifts, and then I'm going to take, a week off and recover, and then I'll deadlift again in a week. That's one, approach, a really poor approach if you go back and listen to our bodybuilding episode that we did a couple weeks ago. And then the other approach is like, hey, I'm going to deadlift today, and I'm going to do, maybe I'm going to go like 80%, 90% of my max. I'm not going to push it completely to failure, completely to the limit. And then I'm going to come back 3 days later and either do that deadlift again or train those same muscles again, And so greasing the groove is like this frequency of training that movement pattern or those muscles that are involved in performing that movement pattern. Doesn't have to be exact, right? I mean, it could be a deadlift and then like a single leg RDL or something like that. But by that frequency and teaching your neuromuscular system to fire, you're actually going to see way better strength increases over time than just having that one day where you max out and taking a complete week off from from touching that muscle group again, which is the trouble with bodybuilding. But that's one thing that I also want our members to understand is like, I was having this conversation with somebody and they're like, should I go for this or should I not go for this? And I said, what's the goal here? Like, I think the goal is to come back tomorrow and keep training, right? And there's like, yeah, that's a good point. I'm just going to stay here, right? And so when we're in the strength phase, yeah, it's like sometimes it feels really good to like max out and like push it for that last like rep or two. But just understand that like if we end our set where it's like, oh, I could do 10 more pounds or I could have done like 2 more reps. Sometimes it's better to just end there and then come back 3 days later and you'll probably see a strength increase from that instead of like pushing it to the max and then having done that damage to your body and have to recover. So not only is it important for people to understand like, hey, if I'm feeling beat up, like should I come in and work out? It's like, yeah, we just adjust things and we get you moving and you'll recover way faster. But also like preemptively in the workout, it's also like, hey, should we lift that or should we not lift that? Should we go for it or should we not go for it? And if it's like a Friday and you're taking the weekend off or it's, let's say you're training on Tuesday, you're going to have Wednesday off, maybe it's okay for me to push it. Yeah, like go for it. Let's knock it out, right?
Yeah.
And then let me recover for a day, and I'll be back, 2 days from now.
Yeah, good. Like just practice good patience, good planning. If you need to take that, if you have like that great like go for it day at the beginning of the week, awesome. Maybe there's a day later in the week that needs to be like a kind of like a patience day, or more like a, what we were talking about, mobility, stability day. But it's all like it's not going to happen in a week. So don't feel like it's all got to happen right there. It's like you need to be able to adapt and have each kind of day and like understand that they all have a purpose and stuff like that.
It goes back to that old kind of saying of like nobody ever regrets a workout.
Yeah.
It's like you could regret a workout, but if you go in and you're like, hey, I'm just not feeling it today, I'm feeling fatigued, I need a day off, you are not going to go to the gym and train appropriately, which is what we're here for, to the appropriate intensity level that day, and then not feel better afterward.
Right.
It's going to be worth it. And we hear this quite frequently from members too, is like, I didn't sleep well, right? I didn't sleep well. Should I work out? Should I not work out? Well, research shows that like one of the most effective Band-Aids for suppressing lack of sleep or poor sleep symptoms is a hard workout. So if you're waking up and you're like, man, I did not sleep well, go to the gym, get a hard workout in, and like when you're done, you're going to feel as though you got not like a full good night's rest, but like way, way better. Maybe you're going to feel like you got 6 hours instead of actually, the 4 that you got or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah. So, guys, should you work out today? The answer is almost always yes, right? It is. I know I was joking with you, but at the beginning, it's almost always yes. It's just what type of workout should you do today? And it can always adjust. It can always vary the intensity level. I mean, professional athletes, something that we're working on here is like real-time assessments with our clients. Right now it's through the coach's eyes, but we're working on bringing some additional technology in that's going to help us with that. But a lot of times professional athletes, like they'll go into the gym and one of the first things that they do is a force plate test, and it determines like, okay, what's your score today? How well are you moving? How much power do you have? And then the program is adjusted based off of that, right? 100%. And so we're kind of working on bringing that same thing in, but the professional athlete is not questioning, should I work out today?
It's how hard should I work out today?
It's how hard should I work out today? What's going to continue to progress me forward, where I'm going to continue to see increases in strength and power? It's not like, no, I'm just going to sit on the couch and rest.
Right. And their goal is to go and then be professional and play their professional sport.
Perform.
Where people here their goal is to then go live functional life, feeling
perform
good,
better at
perform
work.
better.
Yeah. As a mom, as a dad.
Right.
So, and feel good, right? So, answer is, the short answer, we can sum it up.
Yes.
Like work out. But if you're just not feeling great, just communicate that to, your coach, and we'll make the appropriate adjustments for you. All right, guys. That's all we got. We'll be back next week with more. Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.